Hey guys, Swifty here, breaking down all of the recent Bears rumors. Trade rumors are flying, involving guys like Robert Quinn, Nick Foles, trading up in the draft, and even rumors that the Bears could trade for DK Metcalf. I will let you know which one of these trades is really likely and which one has no chance at happening at all. So let's get into it. Could the Bears trade for DK Metcalf? I've seen this one all over the place on ESPN, Twitter, Bleacher Report, Facebook, etc. Look, I know this is the offseason of trading number one wide receivers, and the Seahawks already traded Russell Wilson. That being said, I don't see DK going anywhere right now. After seeing both Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams get traded, though, who knows what's going to happen. However, I'm thinking more about the Bears on this one. I just do not see any way that Poles would make this deal. It's already been reported that the Seahawks turned down the Jets' offer of the 10th overall pick in the first round of this month's draft for DK. Simply put, the Seahawks are going to want a haul of draft picks, and that is a game that the Bears simply cannot play right now. And it also does not fit Ryan Poles' philosophy at all. We already have limited draft picks, and I don't see Poles trading away a ton of them and future picks just to get DK Metcalf. Yes, he's a stud. This wide receiver class is deep. I don't think there's any chance he's coming to Chicago this year via trade. He is a free agent next year, so who knows what happens then. My guess here, if DK does get traded this year, it is not going to be to the Bears, so don't get your hopes up, guys. Next up, let's get to the one that I think is not only the most likely to happen, but the trade that I want to happen the most. Is a Nick Foles trade coming during the draft? I am always skeptical of draft day trades involving players. However, this is one that could be interesting. Foles is an established Super Bowl winning backup quarterback with only $1 million guaranteed left on his contract. There are plenty of teams who could be interested, especially if they miss out on one of the top rookie signal callers. I would say Foles' value is around a 6th round pick. It's possible he could be packaged with an existing pick to move up. I think the draft is the perfect time to trade Foles. We haven't unloaded him by then. I think after we sign Trevor Siemian, we don't have a ton of leverage here. So at this point, I would even take a 7th round pick. Foles could also decide to keep Nick Foles as a third stringer, like Nagy did last season, and wait for another team to potentially need a veteran quarterback closer to the season. My guess here, Foles eventually is going to find a trade partner, and Nick Foles does get traded. Hopefully, this happens on draft night. Next up are the Bears looking to trade Robert Quinn. I honestly don't know how to feel about this one. Foles already traded Mack, and he let Hicks, Goldman, and Nichols walk. However, none of those guys were healthy and produced like Quinn did last year. Does Poles want to just give away his best remaining pass rusher? I'm skeptical. Although I do believe Gibson and Muhammad have the potential to be a very intriguing edge rushing duo. However, trading Quinn would give us yet another hole on the roster, and we can't enter the season with only two DEs. There are a couple of different layers to this one. Blues talked about the defensive line coming in waves. So any singular guy on the line isn't as important. So if a team offers a 3rd round pick for Quinn, Foles might jump on it. This comes down to value for me. Quinn has 3 years remaining at just under $18 million per season. The contract is much easier to get out of the next 2 years, but will a team want to take on a contract that big from a 30-plus-year-old pass rusher? I think it hurts the potential that we get a great return for Quinn. But that being said, he was one of the best pass rushers in the league last year, and he could have a few productive years remaining. Teams can never have enough pass rushers, and if someone makes a good offer, I would jump all over it, and I could definitely see Quinn getting traded. That being said, I just don't think it's that likely to happen this year. My guess is Quinn plays for the Bears in 2022. Lastly, we get to, could the Bears trade up for a 1st round pick? I know we've gotten used to pace moving up in the draft the last few years. I definitely do not see us moving into the 1st round this year, though. For the same reasons we shouldn't trade for DK Metcalf, we shouldn't move up into the first either. If anything, we should move down a bit and secure a couple more picks. I've always been a fan of trading down and acquiring more picks. Nobody is a sure thing when it comes to NFL draft. So it's always better to take as many shots as you can, especially when your team has a lot of holes and the draft is as deep as it is this year. Yeah, that big name guy might seem like a great fit, but a lot of NFL stars are drafted in the second to fifth round. The bust rate is nearly 50% in the first round. First round picks are nowhere near as safe as people seem to think. That being said, I just don't see Poles moving up into the first round. If he did trade up, I think it would only be a couple of picks. I hope Poles remains patient and lets the board come to us. You guys know I can't wait for the draft. That being said, I should be finishing my wide receiver breakdowns tonight. I came to the conclusion that I'm ready to move on from the wide receivers and break down some other fits for the Bears over these next 2 weeks. I have one more scouting report video. It'll be on Jalen Tolbert, Jahan Dotson, and Sky Moore. Look for me to drop that either later tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to be skipping Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, and Jameson Williams. I've studied all three. They should be long gone by the time the Bears pick, so I will hold off on going too deep on them right now unless you guys are really interested in me doing that video. If so, let me know in the comments. So after the Tolbert, Dotson, and Sky Moore video, I will be dropping my wide receiver sleepers list and my wide receiver rankings list. And then we will move on to breaking down the other potential fits for the draft and a few more surprises coming. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please hit that like button if you stuck around this long. And until next time, bear down.